Legend of Total War here, and today we've got a rating your one-man Doomstack covering the Fey Enchantress. We're going up against 4 armies, but it's basically like 3 full stacks here, so it's quite a lot of dwarfs. And she's got the Sword of Cain dominating, she's got the Armor of Destiny, Talisman of Preservation, she's got the Channeling Staff, which means that she doesn't actually need to get into melee in order to regen the Sword of Cain ability, and she's got Morgiana's Mirror. So, not only is she going to be a good spellcaster, but she's going to be able to keep casting this without having to go into melee. But that being said, if she does go into melee, she might actually do quite well as well. It is on large unit scale, so she doesn't have tons of health. But that also means that we're not up against as many units. We've got 72% ward save on her there, plus 15% physical resistance. Plus we've got the Blessing of the Lady, so that is applied during the battle, so that hasn't been applied there. So that means when we get into the battle, it'll say 35%. So she's at a max limit. More than a max limit there. And magic resistance 90% there. Alright, let's jump into the battle and see how it goes. The balance of power doesn't give us much chance, but we'll see how she handles it. I did see in the comments of the previous few one-man Doomstacks is that people were curious to hear my evaluation about the Fey Enchantress, and I was curious to get one. Now, truth be told, the save file this person sent in wasn't quite ready. So I actually made some adjustments of my own. He only put me up against 1 army, and he had different equipment on the Fey Enchantress, but I just made a couple of adjustments. He had everything he needed, he just didn't have the right stuff. Okay, so let's let them get organized. That's pretty good balance of power considering. He's done a lot of trait farming, but hasn't done everything that I think that he could have used. He doesn't have Gore Drenched or Throt, which could have given us a total of 30% extra hit points, which could have helped us in a battle like this with lots of enemies, because that's what I really wanted to test her up against, like a lot of stuff. Now that's 120 seconds to regen, so I'd have to actually use this quite a few times before we'd be able to use the Sword of Cain without having to go into melee. Now we're the attacker here, and we've got 165 Winds of Magic, which, considering what turn this is on, that's not a lot. It's not a particularly strong campaign, but it's fine. Okay, actually getting shot a little bit there. But I barely noticed, because yeah, we just don't take much damage. So all we want to do here, get them all dancing together. Get all together. I'm not going to worry too much about the cannons. I just don't want to get hit. Probably would be ideal to waste the ammo, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, and then we come in over here. A choke point battle is going to be particularly useful here.
With haste. Apace.
Oh my god. Right there.
Winds of magic, rise! Anno. Hurry!
Oh, very nice. Okay, and one of these. And the great thing about this is that they're not really going to be able to avoid us in this situation here.
Swiftly. Send them below.
Okay, just want to wait for this to pass, then pop this down,
Forthwith.
knock off a few seconds, and then do it again.
Lakai Siphon. Destroy them.
Trying to let them get out of the zone of the thing there. And because she acts like a mortar stanchion, she does damage to everyone around her.
Swiftly.
Just gotta watch out that we don't get stuck. Because, yeah, she's not... We don't have a ton of health.
Post haste.
Even with all those resistances, that's
Hurry.
not super resistant, it seems. I don't know. I think it's just because we got low health. Like, she only lost a few hundred health there.
At once. Post haste. Menui. Orion. Menui. Yariwa. Anno.
Alright, what might be a good idea is if I whiz around the back over here and go and take out those cannons, because it seems like they were actually doing a fair bit of damage. Now, I can't use this on the Fey Enchantress. That doesn't work. And you can only do it on allies. So, can't do it on herself. Kind of useless for a one-man doom stack then. You know, that particular bound ability. Not that you get a choice, it's just part of what she has. Alright, let's get rid of those missile units. And then they'll be ready to cross back over here. Yeah, it was the cannons that were doing all the damage. The missile units aren't really doing much to her. So let's get rid of them. Oh, we got stuff over here to do. Oh, very nice, Fey Enchantress. This is pretty damn good, I think. And Bretonnia is a faction that can totally justify picking up the Sword of Cain even on Legendary difficulty because Public Order's not that big of a deal for them. Upkeep costs are not big a deal for them, and most factions kind of like them, so the relation -40s, you know, you can compensate for it. But there's one faction that if you send me a one-man Doomstack with the Sword of Cain, it doesn't matter how good your one-man Doomstack is, I won't accept it, and that's Wood Elves. Wood Elves should never pick up the Sword of Cain. They are crippled by it. Absolutely crippled. Since their economy is based on really not paying that much for their troops, extra 10% is just terrible. Public Order -8, awful. They have really hard times maintaining Public Order in their wood settlements, their main tree settlements. And they need everybody to love them, which is kind of difficult. So, on all three accounts, the Sword of Cain just should never be picked up with the Wood Elves. But everyone else can kind of justify it to some extent. Except for maybe Norska. They're another one that should never really pick up Sword of Cain. Especially on Wolfric. Because he needs a Sword of Torgald. Alright, it's all looking pretty good. Let's give him another one of these. Okay, how much regen have we used up? Used up a fair bit. Yeah, she can't get any more resistances, but she could have gotten more health. I think Throt's been defeated in this campaign, but you can still get the Gore-Drenched trait. And for a one-man Doomstack, you kind of do need that one. But yeah, this appears to be very good against dwarves. Very, very good, because they can't catch her properly. And you could just keep using the channeling staff. Just hold on for the time being. And her combat stats are okay, except for the melee defense, that's not particularly good. I don't think he's gone and defeated Krokgar. I'll have a look at his, what he's got. Also, the choke point battle really does help us, so that way they're not spread out all over the place. Saves us a lot of time. Gotta wait until this is over before we hit this. There we go. Good. We're not able to go into melee with the gyrocopters, but with the Mists of the Lady, it is hurting them. Okay, she's used up all of her regen now. It's okay. There's quite a lot more reinforcements still coming in. That's quite a lot. Okay, just get back over here. Let's have a little bit of a regen. Not of our health, but of our abilities. Wait for them to clump up a bit more. Okay, the guns are definitely a concern at this point. The melee troops are more or less dead. Just got to get them to actually break. And yeah, it is on very high battle difficulty. I need to get at that cannon. Oh, that's an organ gun. Right, I need to get at that.
At once. Of course.
Okay, I'm going to try punching through here to get to that organ gun.
Slay them. Lakai Siphon.
So the Shield of Thorns at this point wouldn't really do anything. We're at our max resistance cap. So far better off to just do damage to them.
Swiftly.
Okay, I gotta get at those organ guns. Lots of bouncer power tied up in that unit. And if that hits us, it'll do a ton of damage, even with 90% resistance. I definitely do think that she should be on her mount, not on foot. Because you can dodge missiles with this pretty easily, and she's not that big. Definitely doesn't make her better in melee, but we don't want to prioritize using her in melee that much. She is primarily a wizard after all. And that extra speed really does help. Alright, we've got another one of these ready to go. Alright, I don't think there's any more reinforcements coming for them. I'm not certain. Just gotta stop their guns from shooting as much as possible. Okay, I don't think that Iron Drake's really gonna do that much to us. They're not particularly good against single entities. I gotta stop the guns. Because even if you reduce their damage by 90%, it's still a ton of damage. Now we're starting to run a little bit low on magic. Now I'm running pretty low on health. Yeah, that Gore Drench trait would have been really helpful right about now.
With haste. Hurry. At once.
Okay, I gotta pull back, regenerate some magic. Okay, it's good that the organ gun there didn't... Okay, it's not an organ gun. Well, it's good that I didn't get back on the artillery. Maybe I destroyed all 3 pieces. So they're just trying to generate some magic. We don't have a lot of reserves left. I think we're pretty close to the army losses. We just need to just inflict a little bit more. I just got to get some time to recover these abilities just a bit. Channeling Staff's really helping us. It's probably already given us 1 extra free use of the Sword of Cain in this battle, plus whatever it's done to help the magic stuff out.
Swiftly. Anno. Destroy them. Awaken my vengeful brothers.
Ooh, I don't know if that's going to be the best dwellers below there.
Hurry. Quickly. Of course. Forthwith. At once.
Starting to run pretty low on health. I want to get into melee for 5 more seconds just so I can activate the Sword of Cain. But I might just have to do without it for the time being.
Winds of magic rise. Quickly.
Okay, that's it. Get rid of those missile units. Okay, I don't mind fighting the the gyrocopters, just not near their other troops here.
Swiftly.
Try to avoid getting shot by them.
With. Haste. And more.
Alright, here's another sword of cane. Let's pop it down.
Send them below. At once.
Yeah, we're very low on health now. So if we had the Gorge Wrench trait, we'd probably have about 2,500 health. So I'd feel a lot more comfortable if we had that. Yeah, I think the biggest problem here is actually the gyrocopters, because I can't do anything about them with any of my magic or melee. I just can't get into melee with them. So the usual rule of thumb is just to not focus on units you can't deal with. But since we're so low on health, that could be a problem here. I don't even think dodging those shots is a good idea. Just gonna try to get rid of them as best I can, but the problem is they won't break. And even if I go and like duel their lords, that might not be enough. Alright, if we... Some of their shots are being wasted. It's just this last little bit here to deal with.
Hurry.
If I had done better at the beginning of the battle, maybe I wouldn't have to worry about this bit so much.
Swiftly. Lakai Saiton.
Yeah, the army losses would have been inflicted by now if we had a little bit more health. Okay, you can smash them up easily enough, and most of their Masunites are gone.
Menui. Orion. Menui. Apace.
It's worth a bit of bounce of power. You got fuck all wins now. Under 1,000 health. Okay, yeah, make sure these ones here leave the battlefield. 1 second. Oh, that's okay, we'll get that with this. Because, yeah, I'm not sure if the Sword of Cain actually will hit them from the air. I think it does, but I'm not certain.
At once.
Okay, we're not going to get much from the Sword of Cain now. Most of their infantry are just gone. We're just going to, like...
Quickly.
I think it's the gyrocopters. Those are going to be the big things we got to get rid of now. Luckily, these aren't the brimstone guns one, so they might not have enough ammunition to actually kill me.
Very well. Come forth. Garan, I call thee. Post haste.
Still quite a few gyrocopters up there. And we're
Hurry.
down to 800 health, down below 800. Alright, sniping this dude over here could be useful. Just watch it. Okay, good, the guns broke.
End them.
It's good she got perfect vigor.
Honor
I think she missed him. Okay, yeah, in a one-on-one fight, she easily beats them. Not a problem there.
Look for Garan.
Okay, good. Okay, now take out the general there. Down to 700 health.
Awaken, my vengeful brothers. Bretogne. Slay them.
Down to 600. $500, that's not good.
Destroy them.
Come on, you can do it. She could definitely beat him. No, but not both of them at the same time. Yeah, what she really needs is some more melee defense.
Hurry. Swiftly. At once. With haste. Anon.
Oh, it's very close. But the army losses could have been inflicted by now if he had more health. So yeah, the Gorge Wrencher would have been so useful here. Good.
Haste. Very well. Apace. For Our Lady.
Okay, I've got another Sword of Cain. But I can't quite reach them from here. Good, absolutely smashes gyrocopters. Let's get in the way. I think we need to do some cycle charges on them. And if you could just do whatever you can against them. Like that. Generating some Winds of Magic will also generate just a tiny little bit of bounce of power. We just need to really push it up there. Just to try to get that army losses now. Good, he didn't hit us.
Father Lady. With haste. Apace. At once. Forthwith. Go.
Down below 400 health now. That Lord's a goner. Just one more to go. And there's one gyrocopter left with ammo. And, oh, hang on, I thought the army losses was triggered there for a second. Oh god, it's so close. There it is, there it is. Talk about close. Oh, I've still got to get rid of the Slayers. I've got a little bit of health left. It's only 14 of them. If I hit and run them, it should be okay. Oh my god, oh my god. Come on, get out of there, get out of there. Okay, now there's only 6 of them remaining. And I've used up all my magic. Yeah, we got this. Man, it doesn't really get much closer than that. That was probably the closest one so far. But she managed it. She managed it. I think this was really good. But yeah, there's definitely things that, like, okay. I could have done a better job. That's for one thing. If I had focused more on wasting the enemy ammo of like the artillery at the start, so they didn't get any damage in on me. Focused more on just using the Sword of Cain to really thin out their gun units to begin with without going into melee. We could have done a lot more damage to them without having done much damage to us. But I guess I got overconfident because I saw the stuff in the Fey Enchantress, so I thought this was really powerful. Even though we were going up against like a shitload of forces. But she managed it there.
You seek prophecy.
So in terms of rating this, I think it's very, very powerful. But you would really have to watch out for any kind of armies that could pin her down. Like going up against dwarves is easy enough. But if you went up against anyone that had a lot of, like, say, Blood Knights or anything that could get her into melee and really grind her down, you can certainly use the Dwellers Below to get rid of units like Cavalry, but if you go up against something like a Phoenix, that could be a problem. Because she's not the greatest in melee. Even with 90% resistances, her melee defense just isn't that good. So, it's good. In order to do this, you would definitely need the Sword of Cain. And I'd say that it is viable. Like a viable thing that you can do in your campaign if you really want to do that. Because, yeah, upkeep, control, diplomatic relations, this stuff is okay for Bretonnia to go down a little bit for. I'd probably give her a 9 out of 10. I mean, she's definitely not as good as Teclis or Mazdamundi, but it was still really good. I think if... Okay, we need to have a look at the traits as well. I think a few more traits could have made a big difference here. So... yeah, we don't have... okay, yeah, Cruelty, Restraint. That wasn't essential because you can actually just use your magic to regen. Hide Striker, that's fine. She already gets Unbreakable with this. So you don't need that. But you get the ward save through the Sword of Cain plus the ability. Wurzag's important. Yeah, if you go and defeated Krokgar for the extra melee defense, that can make a big difference. Same thing with Nakai, although I don't expect you to get Nakai. That one's kind of tricky to get. But the Gore Drenched plus Throt was that 30% extra health. This is on large unit scale, so that would give you about an extra like 1,000 hit points, which also means you'll get about 750 additional points that you can regenerate. So in total, about 1,750 hit points. So if it was on ultra unit scale, that'd be worth maybe 2,200 hit points by getting those things done. And as Bretonnia, it shouldn't be very difficult for you to get the Gore Drench. Just recruit some peasants and sacrifice them to Gairan using the Dwellers Below. And that's an easy way to get it. Because they're super cheap as well. Alright guys, well that's the end of this one. I like this, definitely like it. I'd give it 9 out of 10. It doesn't warrant a 10 out of 10 though. So I do appreciate the guys sending this one in. This campaign is fucked, I think. It's not game over, but it's just turned 323 and Chaos has destroyed 158 settlements. So I think he's got the camp, let me have a look here. He's just got Chaos Invasion on. So the fact that Chaos is still around is like ridiculous. Anyway, that's the end of this one. Appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next time, fuckers. Bye.